And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in because we got a lot of good stuff and questionable stuff that's happening. Free Zetas. Start hoarding right now, people. This is a direct order from our video game division because if you are strapped on Zetas, well, we got some great bonus drops coming that they don't want to tell you, but we found out via data mine. And on top of that, CG clarified all this weird Padawan Kenobi exclusive Datacron stuff. I'm having a really hard time gauging how much I want to rage on this matter. Is it something rageful, or is this something we have to reserve for a different day to rage on? Come on over, people. We got a lot to talk about. Hope you guys are ready for what is about to be in store because there's a lot of goody double drops. First off, I hope you guys had a very successful and a very happy May 4th double drop event. My free-to-play count was extremely productive. Got a Relic 9 Master Kenobi. Was there? I'm sorry, I wish. Relic 9 Jedi Master Luke. Got myself Jedi Knight Revan up to Relic levels as well. And the party is going to keep on going here, my friends. We're starting on May 11th. I don't know why I said 11th, but it's on May 11th. 3 days from now, we are going to have bonus drops for Tarful, Cal Kestis, Sirjunda, Marin, Saw Gerrera, and oh, I'm forgetting something. Zetas as well. Now, they didn't make an official confirmation of this, but you're hearing it now. Now is probably about the good time to start hoarding up on energy because 3 days from now, you want to have as much Cantina energy banked up to take advantage of this double drop event from May 11th through the 13th. And you care about the other things, Tarful, it's going to be a fleet battle added drop. Cal Kestis is going to be a light side battle bonus drop. We have Sir Juno's going to be a bonus drop on the dark side battles. Marin's going to be bonus as well on Cantina on top of that. And we also have a Saw Gerrera on the mod battle. So the only thing I'm not 100% certain is the Cantina battle thing. Now it says, of course, you know, for a limited time, Zeta building materials will be added to the Cantina node. However, I don't know if it's only going to be for people who have Marin, because as you can see here, Marin is also on the Cantina battle. So not 100% sure what's going on there, but still, unless you're going to want to hoard up anyways, Marin's great, but I'm hoping this means you're going to get Marin and Zetas. So just putting it out there, there might be a chance where we might get bamboozled and you need to have Marin before that. But nonetheless, Marin's great. Farming her as fast as possible via bonus is going to be great on top of that. Also, we have ourselves a mystery chest, so make sure you pick that up every single day. You can get some, you know, Jedi stuff ranging from Bastila to Jolie all the way to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So a lot of Jedi stuff, the energy, credits, Omega materials. And here is where we get into the controversial stuff here. Turn off that audio right there. This is showing the Obi-Wan Kenobi event that we have. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi controversy is that you need a 7-star Obi-Wan to get this exclusive Datacron. Now, first, I just want to say, you know, let me be fair. Here at Arnold Holiday News, you know, the Kyber Empire, many other fancy ways that we like to describe our organization that we run here, I like to try to be fair. I understand what they're trying to do. They want to try to reward people for buying their characters and being an early adopter, which is why they give you additional tiers of the gear, the relics, some Omicrons and relic stuff, and even some crystals potentially. So this is great, you know, and it's repeatable stuff, just like the Gungan stuff that we had in the past Marquee events. I get that, because right now there's not a great incentive to really whale out on these characters day one because their full purpose isn't really brought to fruition many months later. Look at the Gungans. Like, yeah, it was cool. I had Boss Nass for like 2-3 months, but it really didn't mean anything until we got Jar Jar Binks, of course. So, but the problem that I have here is now we're kind of in this weird territory where you only can get this thing here, nowhere else. You cannot farm this Padawan Kenobi Datacron anywhere else on the planet, as we're going to talk about in the Q&A. So want to make sure we get that out there because the other stuff's going to be more Datacron and other MIDI update related things. So let's get to it. Let's talk about that Datacron here. Actually, before we do the Datacron, how about we talk about the non-Datacron stuff? Because I get it. Datacrons is, for most people, it's like they just reluctantly accept it. Others just roll their eyes. And of course, there's a small percentage that absolutely love Datacrons. Of course, I like Datacrons if they were rolled out in a very specific way. You know my opinion on Datacrons at this point, I think. But speaking of Cantina, great stuff with the Marin and the Zetas. Captain Tarful is going to be on Cantina Battle to a really accessible farming node. So maybe if you want to try to get your Gungan thing up and running, farm your Tarfuls, get the Marin, get some Zetas. Pretty solid stuff here. There was a weird bug of Leia where she can get second wind more than once. Also, we also have this right here where Leviathan would sometimes not stun an enemy when we're reinforcing an allied ship. Leviathan's been through a lot of bugs, and they don't even use Geonosians on their fleet. I went into Squad Arena or Fleet Arena. It seems to be working, but I only ran one battle. There's one more thing that they're missing out here, so how about we go ahead, hop over to the game real quick before we talk about all the mama drama that we got cooking here. We also have Saw Gerrera as an accelerated character, so we're almost pretty much through the Jedi Knight Cal Kestis requirements here. Double drops for pretty much all of them at this point. It's gonna help you out get that Jedi Knight Cal Kestis when his event becomes permanent come June, July, whenever the 1 year anniversary is for the event. But all right, we're going to talk about the Datacron drama, and if you want to stick around, the next set of Datacrons, holy cow. If you're a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren owner, and we know that's one of the most popular galactic legends in the game, you're going to want to get this. And again, I understand the sentiment of Datacrons, but it is very easy to at least get 1 or 2 completely free-to-play level 9s, or at least a couple level 3s. Level 6s, of course, if you put some effort into Conquest, and well, that's a whole other hurdle that we have. But we have this Q&A for the Padawan Obi-Wan shenanigans. So as we saw, the Marquee events will be very similar to Gungans. All right, cool. But here's the issue that we have. The Datacron for Padawan Obi-Wan is only available from the Marquee event and cannot be acquired by any other means. So this is where, like, my internal conflict, the raging and the peaceful side of me, it's like, oh, I want to get mad. You're boxing a Datacron only if you whale a 7-star character in the first week or however long the Marquee event is. Then I sit there and I think, well, most people aren't willing to get a 7-star character. And by the time the Datacron set expires, which, as they do clarify somewhere in here, the Datacron does expire at the very end of its cycle. I don't know where the heck it is, but the Datacron will expire at the end of the cycle, so it works just like a normal Datacron. So by the time it gets expired, you're not really going to have many people 7-star Kenobis. However, the problem is, oh, here you go. Yes, it'll expire just like a normal Datacron. My issue and concern is here. For people that might not spend money, but they might be hoard crystals and they're very efficient with crystals, they're able to get a 7-star character very quickly, like within the first month, 2 or 3, especially when they get added to shipments. They can't get the Datacron. The Datacron is only going to be accessible through this tier. As they say, the Datacron for Padawan Obi-Wan is only available from the Marquee and cannot be acquired by any other means. So I don't know. Again, I'm torn. At one side, this is really stupid and trash. But again, most people can't even enjoy Datacrons on brand new characters. But again, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to incentivize people to buy their characters. So love to hear your take. Is this, what level of DEF CON is this? Should we be freaking out? It's a little infuriating, but is it super infuriating? We'll let the jury decide on that one here. But anyways, let's go move on now to talk about more Datacron shenanigans here. Datacron set 15. Oh man, they're hitting us with some hard hitting Datacrons, for lack of a better term right now. First good news is no evasion. Yay. You can clap, it's fine. All right, yeah, we don't, no dodge, no deflection. There will be a lot of arm penetration, offense, critical damage, so damage is gonna be pretty hot coming from a stat perspective. And I'm not going to go over every single little minute detail of Datacrons. I don't want you guys falling asleep on me. That's for when Gary does his bedtime stories. The biggest thing that you're going to want to get at the very minimum, the bang per buck budget level 3, is going to be the dark side and light side Datacron, which gives 15% max health and max protection for each other ally. Get out of here, Steam Deck, or whatever the heck that was. So that means at the start of the battle on a 5v5, there's 5 allies, 75% max health, max protection. Do I need to walk our hands? How great would that be for Master Kenobi and his bones protection? How great would that be for Lord Vader, Gideon, and the Darth Malguses out there that do damage based off max health? And even the Gungans, which they're going to get some love, loads of protection. So at the minimum, if you're doing any sort of conquesting, just getting a couple level 3 minimums is going to help you out for your light side and dark side guys. Now we have Gungans. Now, I would say the Gungans, they're already great. Pre-Omicron, pre-Datacron. They're going to be even nutty with the Jar Jar Omicron as well as the Datacron. But I wouldn't say they're as nutty as, let's say, the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren stuff. This is going to be the one you're going to shoot for if you care about Gungans, where here you're able to get the Allied Shield Generator to lose a stack of Plasma Shielding. They can remove 1 stack of Recharge from the Allied Shield Generator. So again, getting the Generator to use its ability, taking a turn, it's going to be great, as we're going to see with the other subsequent effects. Whenever the Allied Shield Generator uses Plasma Pulse, which is the one ability it uses on its turn, when all the recharge goes away, dispel debuffs from all Gungan allies, inflict Plasma Residue on all enemies, which campers is a pretty big deal. And if they already had Plasma Residue, 100% Terminator removal, daze, stagger, and stun for 1 turn. Yikes, yikes. Already a lot of debuffs on this team. And whenever a Gungan ally deals damage to a debuffed enemy, they also deal 5% max health damage to that enemy. Whew. Yeah, that's going to be great. There's a lot of debuffs for Gungans. Galactic Republic. Now, of course, this is trying to aim for some stuff against Queen Amidala. Padme Amidala is also getting love. Master Kenobi's already rocking a pretty solid Datacron with the Kit Fisto and the Jedi stuff. This is a big one right here, though. Whenever Galactic Republic ally with protection up assist, which is quite often on a Master Kenobi team, if there are no enemies of protection disruption, you inflict it for 1 turn on the target enemy, which can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. And while Galactic Republic allies have this protection up, 50% accuracy, counter chance, critical damage, critical chance, and they ignore taunt. You know how annoying it is? Master Kenobi has everyone ignore taunt when he hits high ground. Now imagine that straight from the very get-go. Yikes, that's gonna be some scary business right there, my friends. Not gonna bother with the other stuff. I mean, we kind of saw this not too long ago as well. The reduced damage if you're over 50% turn meter. Kind of annoying, but I think this one's probably gonna be the big one. But of course, that one's not bad either. Inquisitor, like holy cow, we've been stringing along Inquisitors with some really great Datacrons over the past several seasons. They had like an unaligned Force User one. Then there's the Empire one. Now we have this. So for the next 3 so months, they're gonna be pretty good, where the biggest ticket item is going to be this one right here. Whenever the Inquisitor's ally inflicts a stack of purge, they gain 5% offense, defense, and tenacity. Stacking, whenever purge is consumed, it gets turned into expose for 1 turn. Whenever an Inquisitor's ally attacks an enemy with a stack of purge, a random other Inquisitor ally is going to assist, dealing 5% bonus damage per stack of purge. Yikes, yikes. You already get 7 sister assisting. Now you're going to get someone else to be assisting. Everything else, yeah, you know, nothing as special here yet. Again, that's one of the reasons why Datacrons are annoying. They know what are the good abilities people want, but they throw in all this stupid crap, so it makes it so much more complicated to get it. Again, there's ways to make Datacrons easier a pill to swallow. And holy cow, just the other day, there was someone saying, oh man, we don't get really any first order Datacron love. I mean, of course, there's like a level 3 or maybe an unaligned Force User bonus that benefits Kylo, but we don't really get many bonuses that like help out the entire first order faction. Well, we're kind of seeing it here now, where you can't go wrong with many of these level 6 abilities. I mean, obviously we have the offense equal to 400% of the current defense, very reminiscent of what we have currently with the Empire, which is going to be expiring very shortly here. But I think the one that people are going to want to have is this one. More words usually means more better. Whenever first order ally scores a critical hit, the leader gains 10% offense, stacking to a max of 200%. Kylo's gonna hit like a monster, and we have a lot more to read. If the leader scores a critical hit, they get an additional 10% offense. Other first order allies cover 50% max health or health and protection recovery. We don't have a lot of health protection recovery for first order, so this is kind of a big deal right here. Whenever the leader uses an ability, they get to remove 1% turn meter from all other first order allies. That is great just from Kylo's unique ability. Remember, turn meter gain, your team gets more frail on SLKR's team. When you lose turn meter, you're going to be more durable. Did I say that right? When you gain turn meter, your team gets frail. When you lose turn meter, your team gets more durable. That 1% turn meter is helping in that regard. But whenever a first order ally loses turn meter, they gain 10% critical damage, stacking for 2 turns. And then whenever a first order ally attacks a stunned enemy, my gosh, it's like these Datacrons are just so freaking long to read. You're going to deal 10% max health damage to enemy. So crew does stuns, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren does stuns, a Special Forces TIE pilot can stun, as we are going to talk about in a moment. And then whenever the leader is not damaged during an enemy turn, if there are no other allies with damage immunity, you're granting damage immunity to first order allies for 1 turn. Holy cow. Yikes. I mean, first order, don't get me wrong, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is great overall, but you know, in the grand picture, it's not the best defensive team. It's just an all right defensive team in the Galactic Legend hemisphere. They're giving a lot. So now we get to the character side of things, and you would think, you know, again, you know, the Jar Jar Datacron looks fine, but honestly, I think the Boss Nass Datacron, if you care about boosting your Gungans, is gonna be the way to go here, because here we have ways of getting max health, max protection, or max protection increase on other Gungans. But also on top of that, he removes 1 stack of recharge from the allied shield generator, letting it take more turns, and we already read what that can do. And then whenever the enemy is inflicted with plasma residue or frustration, they are blinded for 1 turn. And then the first time the allied shield generator, this is the big thing right here. The first time the allied shield generator's plasma shield reaches a 0, recovers 10 stacks of plasma shield. You know how annoying Gungans are right now? You got like 2 layers of problems. You got to get through the shield, and then you got to get through the Gungans. If you're getting basically another 10 stacks of plasma shielding, which can't be prevented, that is a big deal. That's that is the biggest complication. So I think Boss Nass is probably going to be the go-to Gungan Datacron here. Padawan Obi-Wan, so the controversial Datacron that you cannot farm and conquest only if you wail hard, baby, and get into that Marquee event. This right here, I don't even know if I want to. There's only gonna be probably like maybe what 1,000 people, or they're gonna use this. But hey, we'll check it out anyways. What are you missing out on by not wailing hard? At the start of the encounter, Padawan Obi-Wan gains 100% counter chance until the end of the encounter, and then whenever he evades an attack, he recovers 20% health and protection. Whenever he attacks out of turn, he deals true damage to target enemy, which can't be evaded. Now I know, of course, Padawan Kenobi is gonna be mainly for Queen Amidala and Master Qui-Gon. I'm definitely seeing possibilities of this guy working in other teams if you're not going to get Queen Amidala anytime soon. But again, you need a Datacron for the 7-star, and if you're, I don't know if he's going to be great at low stars. You see the conundrum that we're in? But I digress. Whenever turn meter is removed from an enemy, Padawan Obi-Wan gains foresight at the start of each Galactic Republic ally's turn. If Padawan Obi-Wan has a stack of heal over time, he gains 20% offense, and that's going to work well with Queen Amidala because there's a lot of heal over times, and also we have protection over time on Queen Amidala. So when he has a stack of protection over time, he gains 20% defense penetration and doubled if there's an active handmaiden decoy. Queen Amidala. So loads of ways to get even more damage out of Kenobi. I'm really curious to see how much damage he's going to have. And don't forget, we have all those offense and critical damage and armor penetration things that we have inside the stats alone. And then we have this right here. Whenever another Galactic Republic ally falls below 50% health for the first time or is defeated, Padawan Obi-Wan takes a turn, resets all cooldowns, removes 10% turn and removes an additional 10% turn for each relic amplifier level that ally has from all enemies which can't be resisted. So possibly removing 90% turn meter. Yikes. Actually, in a total 100 because you remove 10 plus another 90. So you could possibly remove 100% turn meter. Yeah, it's kind of bonkers, my friend. But most likely, most of you guys are not gonna be able to play around with that. So we have a Padme Amidala Datacron, which is gonna be very good with Jedi Master Kenobi. Jedi Master Kenobi, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, the clear winners here. And I guess we have some nice Inquisitors that we're gonna talk about. Whenever a Galactic Republic ally with courage or protection using the ability, if there are no enemies to provoke, you're going to inflict provoke on the enemy. Whenever a Galactic Republic ally recovers health or protection, Padme recovers double that amount. And then whenever an enemy targets a non-Galactic Legend Republic ally with protection while attacking out of turn, the damage they receive is reduced to 1. Yeah, you read that right. And the attacking enemy is exposed for 1 turn. Whenever a non-Galactic Legend Galactic Republic ally resists a debuff, they gain a stack of courage, and whenever they are inflicted with a debuff, they gain protection up, 10% stack, and anti-acid for 2 turns. So of course you can see how this will work well with Master Kenobi. However, right now Master Kenobi is benefiting from the Kit Fisto Datacron. Maybe there's a chance that like a standard old school Padme team can maybe see a little bit of love on the holotables. Padme lead has been largely irrelevant and out of the system for a while, unless I guess you count the cheesy thing with like a Padme and a Gideon. That's like really the only thing that's kind of maintaining her relevance. Beyond that, we don't really see much in terms of the Padme lead. But anyways, we got tech stuff. We have Luminar. I'm wondering, again, the theory is that Luminar is going to do some cool stuff with Queen Amidala with her Omicron. Time will tell, but they threw it in there just to maybe, get the fires going a bit. Now we have ourselves the Inquisitors getting more love for yet another season. Here, the third sister, ninth sister are the clear winners. Of course, the third sister's fine, where she's going to get lots of stacks of hatred, but I think the ninth sister is going to take the cake because here, Inquisitor allies are going to get 200% max health and immune to ability block. Add that with all the other max health, max protection that we talked about in the level 3, big deal. Ninth sister deals 20% bonus true damage based on her max health with her basic ability if the target is inflicted a purge. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, with this, especially with how much max health she's going to have. She's going to be a big girl. If any enemy has 6 stacks of purge, a Ninth Sister would be defeated for the first time. She consumes all stacks of purge from a random enemy with 6 stacks, and then she recovers 100% of max health, 100% max protection, removes 50% turn from all enemies. Big stuff going on there for the Inquisitor. So I think Ninth Sister is going to take the cake. Reva's fine too, but Ninth Sister I think is probably the better one, just from the way it's worded here. And then the First Order. They heard the complaints. You guys wanted First Order Datacrons? All right, we'll get them to you guys. Now, of course, they have a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren one, but I don't think that's the best one. Of course, that's fine if you end up getting it. 5% more damage per relic amplifier on all allies present at the start of the battle. So, right, that's going to be a lot of damage stacked on all the other stuff. But I think the one that really is going to take the cake, Special Forces TIE Pilot. This is an odd one. I was not expecting Datacron that would be this good for a Special Forces TIE Pilot. While allied Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is active, First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot can't be defeated, and you'll see why that's important. While First Order allies have advantage, they ignore taunt. That is one of the few ways of controlling the beast, that is Kylo, because his team doesn't really have any ways of getting around the taunt except from big buff dispels. Now they can just go wherever they want. And then whenever the ally in the leader slot or first order special forces TIE Pod is damaged, while they have advantage, stun the enemy for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. Oh man. Whenever an enemy is stunned, first order special forces TIE Pod abilities gain 5% bonus damage. He and the ally in the leader slot, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, get 10% max health until the end of the encounter, on top of all the other max health stuff from the level 3. Yikes. Oh man. And if the ally in the leader slot is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which I think that's going to be the case, he gains 5% ultimate charge, getting Kylo even more ultimate charge. This is like a mini lifter for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Whenever a stunned enemy is defeated, they can't be revived, and the ally in the leader slot gains a bonus turn. And the allied leader and first order special force TIE Pod recover 100% health and protection. I mean, do I need to read the other one? This seems to be the one that you're going to want to have. So maybe you go with like a single tank, and then you keep Hawks, Sith Trooper, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, then first order Stormtrooper, because usually Kylo Ren Mask lately has been going on the Malicos team, so that's what I'm expecting the team's gonna look like. I mean, and don't get me wrong, the first order Stormtrooper one looks fine too. It's gonna get a lot of extra max health, max protection. It's gonna feed 50% armor penetration and offense to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. When stuns expire or is dispelled, Stormtrooper's gonna get extra defense and tenacity, giving extra damage to the leader. And on top of that, whenever another first order ally is critically hit, which isn't gonna be too often on a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team when you have advantage, Stormtrooper gains protection up, it's gonna taunt, and he's got a mass cleanse ability on the Order's Relentless, and he gets 50% health recovery to his allies. So yeah, if you're a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren owner, you're gonna want to try to lock in some of these datacrons. And I know it's hard to get a lot of datacrons unless you're wailing on money. You're not gonna get a max set for free on all the entire inventory, but it's very reasonable. If you're doing conquest, you're pushing for your gold crate, or you just you're going about doing as much as you can. Usually by the end of the a week or a conquest cycle or two, you can get at least 2-3 level 9s, and then maybe a couple of level 3s and level 6s. So putting on your radar. I know a lot of you guys have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Maybe you aren't interactive datacrons. Oof, that's a lot of power you're leaving off the table if you're not doing some minor amount of effort inside of Conquest. Next, this upcoming Monday is going to be the final Conquest for Queen Amidala. And then 2 weeks from there, we're going to finally have Queen Amidala unlocked and hopefully Master Qui-Gon in the game. By then, we got a lot of stuff cooking here in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow with our video gaming division, testing out the brand new Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. But until then, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And most importantly, my friends, always remember how it's great to be in the Empire today.
It's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.